Alrighty, so I've already made a few cuts on this machine, and I've been using some clamps just for the time being, so I clamp something off the side of the edge, but obviously that's not optimal, and the main reason why I'm making the spoil board now is because I wanted to cut out some fine lettering with an 1/8 inch bit, and I found out that on the Shapeoko, at least with the new Z Plus, you can't actually reach the board, any board that's like underneath like 5/8 of an inch, if you don't have a spoil board already installed, and so that's pretty problematic. Essentially, on the Shapeoko, there are a set number of holes all the way around that tie down the original baseboard to the machine, and so the way that I've designed my spoil board is that it's gonna have holes that line up with the bolt holes for the baseboard. And then I bought some extra bolts so I can just go straight into the PEM nut holes in the base that are already there. And I mean, if that's good enough to hold down the baseboard of this machine, then it's going to be good enough to be able to hold down my new spoil board. So I need to cut the MDF sheets, and I'm going to do that right now. Just made sure that all the screws align. I also have the ones in the back screwed in as well. And essentially what I'm going to do now is to run the T-nut hole operation. I'm going to use this point right here as my reference point, or as my 0. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the same thing that I just did a second ago, where I use this hole as my reference. And the nice thing now is that I know that this hole lines up perfectly with the one beneath because the bolt fits through it. So I'm going to line up my bit right now, and then I'm going to set the cutting operation and let that run for a while. So essentially we're going to bolt our clamps into the T-nuts, and that's going to be our method of work holding. So now I'm going to go and I'm going to hammer all of these in. That's the main part of getting the spoil boards ready. But essentially, this board's not going anywhere. This board's not going anywhere. You would literally bring the table with you. The only other thing that I need to do with this right now is I need to face the entire thing. First, you drill the holes to align the board to the baseboard. You flip it over. You drill out the holes for the T-nuts, and then you flip it back over, and then you face it. This would have been a lot easier if you had just a single flat sheet of MDF, but I did it in two parts. But you could easily just do this all in one go in such a way that you could just hit the first hole and then go for each one of these next ones, and then just do everything that I did in half the time, basically, or half the effort. And we'll be moving on to some additional projects after that. So stay tuned.